Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how to install professional Ubuntu desktop with the Lunar Xfce GUI interface on your Android device. I'm going to show you both how to install and how to arrange the operating system on your Android phone, and I'm going to be showing you how to install browsers and how to download files using this operating system. It works perfectly just like your professional Ubuntu on your PC. And if you're seeing this channel for the first time, please we upload videos on Linux tutorials, ethical hacking, programming, and so much more. If you're interested in this, in this niche of videos, please make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so that you do not miss out and be notified whenever we upload a new video. So without wasting much of your time, let us get to the video. Welcome back, guys. So to install Ubuntu, we're going to be using Termux, as you already know. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to update our Termux repositories as usual. So to do that, you're going to be using pkg update. The command pkg update is going to update all the packages in Termux. It is going to keep them up to date so that we can use them in the correct version that it is. Okay. So I'm going to wait for the update to finish now. Updating. Yeah, the update is done now. After updating your Termux, let me clear. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to install a package called proot distro. Now, for those of you that have watched my previous videos on Linux tutorial, you already know what proot distro is now. But those of you that doesn't know, proot distro is a package used in installing Linux distros. Okay. So after installing proot distro, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to install Ubuntu, of course. So to install Ubuntu, which is not new to most of you, you're going to be using the command proot distro install Ubuntu, and that command is going to install Ubuntu on your system. Now after installing Ubuntu, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to log into Ubuntu. To log into Ubuntu, you're going to use the command proot distro login Ubuntu, of course, just as usual. Now, after logging into Ubuntu, let me log into Ubuntu first. Proot distro login Ubuntu. Yep. So after logging into Ubuntu, you're not going to update immediately. You're not going to update your repositories immediately. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to edit the apt source list for Ubuntu. To do that, you're going to use the command nano etc /apt /sources.list. Nano etc apt /sources.list, and you want to locate here in this thing. You want to locate this Jammy main universe. You're going to change this to Lunar. Okay, so from Jammy you're just going to change it and you're going to type Lunar, Lunar. You're going to do it for all lines. Okay, so I'm going to go to the second line now. I'm going to edit Jammy, change it to Lunar. In the third space, I'm going to edit Jammy and change it to Lunar also. So we're going to change everything from Jammy to Lunar. All right, so you're going to change it to Lunar because the version of Ubuntu I want to install is the Lunar version, okay, not the Jammy version. So if you're okay with the Jammy version, you can just skip this part and continue with the GUI installation. But if you want the Lunar version, the same version that I'm using to explain this video, then this is what you're going to do to get the Lunar version. Now after you finish this edit, you can now update your packages, your Ubuntu packages. So to do that, you're going to type apt update, of course, and it is going to update the packages. So the package is updating now, updated. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the dist package. All right, the distro package. Now to do that, we're going to be using the command apt dist upgrade. Okay, apt dist -upgrade, apt dist -upgrade. Then you're going to click on enter, and that will also take some time, okay, to upgrade. And we're going to wait. Okay, we're going to be patient and updating updated. And please note that I fast forwarded this video. It is going to take time with you, okay? I edited and fast forwarded the video. That is why you see that this updates and upgrade just takes no time at all. It is going to take time when you update and upgrade them. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to head to the GUI installation. Now we're going to be installing the Xfce GUI, okay? So to do that, you're going to be using the command apt install xfce4 terminal, xfce4 whisker menu plugin, okay, which is the menu plugin for xfce4, and whisker menu plugin, okay, plugin, plugin, yeah, right. And then we're going to be installing other dependency packages like Xfce4 app menu plugin. The app menu plugin is a display menu plugin. We're going to get there, all right? And then the next package we're going to install is we're going to install the Ubuntu wallpaper packages, okay? Ubuntu wallpapers. So we're going to install Ubuntu wallpapers, and then we're going to install the box X11. You're going to install the box X11, and then you're going to click on enter, okay? Now this is going to take time, okay? This is going to take a lot of time. Now you're going to be asked to select the country you're from. I selected US, so you can just select your country, okay? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to select US for the sake of this tutorial, and the city, I'm going to select Alaska as the state, okay? And then your keyboard also, you're going to be asked to choose a region you wish for your keyboard. I'm going to be using the US region also, so I'm just going to click on enter now and locate US. I'm going to locate US English US. There it is, number 32, English US. So I'm just going to use that. Then country of origin of the keyboard, 32 also. For those of you that are from India, and make sure you locate India, Bangladesh, make sure you locate your country, wherever it is that you're from. Make sure you use the keyboard and the region related to you, okay? So, and yeah, the installation has been complete, but please note I fast forwarded this video, okay? So after this, we're going to install some necessary packages also, okay? We're going to be installing packages like we're going to be installing package like git, gedit. We're going to install git is a package we're going to be using to cloning repositories from GitHub. With gedit, you can edit scripts, and with sudo, sudo gives you sudo permission. We're going to install plank, and we're going to install the conf editor. All right. Now, other important packages to install for the benefit of the the appearance design of the OS. We're going to be installing Yaru Team GTK. We're going to be installing Yaru Team icon, and we're going to be installing we're going to install Genome Terminal, okay? I'm going to be using the Genome Terminal as my default terminal in Ubuntu, okay? It looks more professional. And we're going to be installing Nautilus, which is a file manager, okay? And we're going to install Rofi also. We're going to be using Rofi to update the launcher and make the launcher look like a professional Ubuntu launcher. And you're going to click on enter, and this is going to take time also. So you're just going to give it time, all right, and let it install. So now the installation is complete. Now I'm going to move forward to the connection aspect, the VNC connection aspect. Okay, so to do that, the first thing, you're going to open a new section to terminal, and the first thing you're going to install in X11 repo, because without the X11 repo package you can't even connect at all, okay? Without X11 there's no connecting to VNC, so please do not forget to install X11. And also I am going to be pasting all the commands to this in the description below. Okay, you're going to be finding the commands in my blog, but I'm going to be pasting the link to that article in the description below, so make sure you get it there. Now after installing X11 repo, other things we're going to be installing is SOG and Tiger VNC. Okay, so you're going to be installing Tiger VNC with the command pkg install Tiger VNC. Then we're going to be installing the X server with sorg-x host. Okay, now Tiger VNC and X server has been installed. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give storage permission to our Tamux, and most importantly, make sure Ubuntu has access to that storage. So to give storage permission to Tamux, you're going to be using the command tamux-setup-storage. Okay, a new window is going to pop up asking you to allow Tamux to access photo, media and file on your device. Click on allow, and if you type ls again, which is the list command, you're going to be seeing that we have storage in your terminal. So you're going to navigate to your storage folder by typing the command cd storage. Okay, cd storage, and when you get to your storage folder, please type the command pwd. Now pwd means print working directory. It is going to print the working directory of your storage, of your phone storage. Okay, and then we're going to head back to Ubuntu. I'm going to give Ubuntu the access to that storage by using the command ls or ln-s. Then we're going to paste the working directory ln then -s. All right, and we're going to paste the working directory to the storage folder there. The working directory we just copied it, you're going to paste that and you're going to click on enter. So if I type ls again here on Ubuntu, ls, you're going to see now that I have storage permission. I have access to the storage folder on Ubuntu. So now that we have done this, the reason why I'm doing this is because you might want to be working with your internal storage while using Ubuntu. You want to save files on your internal storage, so you don't have to stress yourself. Just do this from the beginning. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go to now is the connection aspect, of course, as usual. So to create a shortcut connection command that lets you connect to your VNC application, you're going to be using the command echo. Okay, now what do we want to echo? You're going to make sure you put the apostrophe mark there, please. As you can see, then you want to the command to connect is the command display is equal to -1, then Xfce E4 session. We want to connect our Xfce E4 session, which is the GUI session, to our VNC. So please, if you cannot cope with this command or you cannot grab this from the tutorial, just go to the blog and copy all the commands from there. Okay, now where do I want to save this command? I want to save it in the user/local/bin/start server folder. Okay, user/local/bin/start server. Now that start server is a folder, is the file rather, where this command is going to be saved, and I'm going to be giving it executable permission by using the command chmod +x. Okay, and now I have set up a shortcut command to always log into my VNC server. All right, so let me cut this file now so that you can see. As you can see, inside the start server file, there's the command there, display is equal to -1 Xfce E4 section. So let us head back to Tamux and quickly create a VNC connection, then connect to that VNC connection using Ubuntu. So as usual, you're going to switch back to your Tamux terminal. Then you're going to also create an echo command, and in this echo command, we're going to be typing the command VNC server. Okay, VNC server -geometry. Now I'm going to be using 16 × 700 because 16 × 700 is the geometry of my phone. Okay, please, the geometry you're going to be using, make sure it is specific to your own phone. Okay, my phone uses 16 × 700. That is why I'm using the 16 × 700 geometry. That's listen TCP -1. Okay, then you want to create a column. Okay, because this is two commands written together, so you're going to create a column to separate the command. Okay, so the column in the middle is separating the command. Then this display is equal to -1 xhost plus. Okay, display is equal to -1 xhost plus. Now this command makes this VNC connection visible to other servers in the local host. I don't know if you understand. So the command VNC server -geometry 16 × 700, that's listen TCP is equal to -1, create a VNC connection to the -1 portal, while the command display is equal to -1 xhost plus makes this command accessible to other connection or other OS in the same host. Okay, Now we're going to be saving this command in the user/bin folder. I'm going to be pasting these commands in that article also, so please just go to the article and copy all of these commands from there and make it easier for yourself. All right, so I'm going to name it connect VNC. So I'm going to be naming this command connect VNC, and you're going to give it executable permission, right, using the chmod plus x command also. So I'm going to cancel all of this now, and I'm going to write chmod plus x, then you're going to give a space, and let me cut this command so that you can see what is inside, what it looks like. Okay, so cut, and as you can see, we have the command vnc-geometry 16 times 700 listen tcp ratio 1, then display is equal to ratio 1 sos plus. So now we're going to be using the command connect vnc to create a local server, then make that server accessible in other operating systems in the same local host. So you're going to be asked to create a password for the very first time you're typing this command. Please make sure you type a password you can remember, because you're going to be using this command, this password, to connect to VNC every time you want to log in. Okay, so as you can see, we already created a VNC connection in the local host 1. So we're going to switch back to our Ubuntu now, and remember, we already created a shortcut command that connects us to connect our Xfce GUI to the local host 1, and we named that shortcut command start server. So I'm just going to type the command start server now. Okay, but before heading there, I want to download the file. Okay, now I want to download the file. Yeah, we're going to be using this file to design our Ubuntu's GUI interface, because we're going to have a plain GUI interface, so we want to design it. I'm going to be pasting this link in the description below also. This is Plank Team. We're going to be downloading Plank Team. Okay, the Azeni Plank Team. Now this is going to be used for our Plank panel. You're going to be seeing it in the video. Okay, so let us just download the azeni.tar.gz file. Download. It is just a 0.01 MB file, less than 1 MB, so it doesn't take much of your data. So it has been downloaded, and I'm going to head back now, and I'm going to connect it to VNC. Okay, so to connect to VNC, I'm just going to type the command start server, and voila, we are connected. So now you're going to launch any VNC application of your choice and connect to this server. But for me, I'm using NetHunter. Okay, so in NetHunter, by default, your this thing is going to be in basic VNC, your connection type. So please make sure you change it to Ultra VNC. Change it from your connection type should be Ultra VNC. Then your local host, as you can see, mine is 1. Please make sure your local host is 1, or specific to the local host that you created. Okay, and then VNC password, the password you created earlier, you're going to type that there. I use 1 2 3 4 5 6 because it is an easy password to remember. So, and you're going to click on connect, and here we are in our Ubuntu GUI interface. But like I told you earlier, this GUI interface is just plain Xfce interface, no design, nothing at all. So we are going to be arranging this now, and we're going to make it look like the professional Ubuntu GUI interface. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to change is the wallpaper. Right click on your desktop and click on desktop settings. Okay, now click on others in the folder storage, and you want to locate your background folder. Okay, so the background folder is in user/shares/backgrounds. As you can see, user share/background, that is where it is, and you're going to open this folder. Okay, so let me maximize this page. I'm going to maximize the page now so that you can see this. Maximize. Now you're going to click on open. Okay, you're going to click on open, and when it opens, it is going to display wallpapers of Ubuntu. So I'm going to just use any wallpaper of my choice. Let me see. Ubuntu. Okay, I prefer this wallpaper because it is actually pretty simple, and it has the it has Ubuntu logo in the middle. So I'm just going to use this wallpaper. Now we're going to be going to other settings. We're going to change the appearance. Okay, now remember we installed Yaro from the beginning of the video, so we're going to be using Yaro icon now in this video. So I prefer the Yaro dark icon. You can choose any icon of your choice, but I'm going to be using Yaro dark, and I'm going to change my icon to Yaro dark. The style I want it to be to Yaro dark. Okay, so as you can see, the icons are changing and the style has changed. All right, and settings, there is nothing really much to change here, but yeah, we'll just leave it there. We'll just leave it at that. So that has been changed, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to settings again, and we're going to click on Windows Manager. Okay, now in our Windows Manager, you're going to locate Yaro dark, and then from here you can change your window buttons layout. Okay, so I'm just going to use the button layout that I prefer, but you can use yours. All right, so I'm just going to quickly arrange this now to my preferred button layout. Okay, button layout. Yep, this is how I prefer my button layout. Okay, this is how I like it, so I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to close this. Now we're going to head back to settings again, settings, and you're going to locate default applications. Now we want to change our default. We want to change a few default applications. Now in my utilities, I'm going to change my default file manager to Nautilus. All right, remember we installed Nautilus earlier. Then I'm going to change my default terminal emulator to Genome Terminal. Now I'm going to close this also, and after that we're going to head back to settings again, still on settings, and in your Window Manager tweaks, just in the cycling, please unmark this draw frame around selected window, unmark that, and in the placement you can just change the placement a little bit to the middle. All right, so now we're going to close that. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to head back to that settings again, the mouse and keyboard. Now I want to change my mouse to Yaro mouse, my mouse theme, so I'm going to change it to Yaro. Okay, but you're not going to notice this because I'm using an external mouse. So the external mouse is what is still going to be displaying. Okay, the external mouse theme. But for those of you that are not using external mouse, you're going to notice a change in your mouse. Your mouse is going to look like the Yaro mouse, very professional and fine. Okay, but as for me, I'm using an external keyboard. As you can see, the mouse is very big. That's because it is an external mouse. Now you're going to go to your panel preferences, and you're going to remove panel 2. Okay, remove panel 2. We don't need that. We're going to create a new panel later in the video using Plank. You remember we installed Plank, so we're going to create a new panel with Plank. And the next thing I'm going to do is the icon size. I want to change the icon size. I want to make the icon size a little bit bigger in the appearance folder. And we're going to go to items now, and the application menu, we're going to change the button of that application menu. So I'm going to change the button now. To change the button, click on icon, and in the search icon folder, you want to search for start here. Okay, start here. As you can see, start here. So this folder, that icon right there, the Ubuntu icon, that is what you're going to be using. So as you can see, the icon in my application folder has changed to the Ubuntu icon. So now we're going to remove all this workspace feature and all of these things in the panel. We want to make the panel look professional, and these things, they don't look very professional. So we're just going to remove everything. You're going to remove the Pulse Audio plugin. Remove that too. Yes, we're going to remove okay, you're going to shift the clock. Just shift the clock a little bit. Yeah, I prefer the clock there. So we're going to edit this clock now. I'm going to change the format to time only. Okay, now that the format has been changed, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to edit our our separators. Okay, so I want the time to be in the middle of the desktop interface. So I'm going to expand this, and as you can see, the separator is now in the middle of the desktop interface. Now the next thing I'm going to edit is the action buttons. So you're going to change the appearance to action buttons. Okay, the appearance, you're going to make sure the appearance is in action buttons, and you're going to unmark everything. Unmark shutdown. You're going to unmark everything except the logout button. Logout right there. So that logout button, you're not going to remove that, you're just going to leave that at that there. So every time you want to log out, you can just click on that green button and it will log you out. Okay, now that is done, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to launch our terminal, and we're going to finish some few edits. Okay, as you can see, the desktop is still looking quite not okay, not professional. In fact, we're still at the beginning. Okay, so if I type ls, as you can see, I have a lot of folders here. So I'm going to go to my storage folder, and remember the Xfce file we downloaded earlier, it was saved in the downloads. So I'm going to see this storage, then I'm going to go to my download folder. So please make sure you note the folder that the file you downloaded was saved in. Okay, so as you can see, I am in the downloads folder right there, and there it is, xfce.tar.gz. okay, so I'm going to copy that, copy, and I'm going to paste it on my terminal using the cp command, and I'm going to copy it to the /user/share/plank teams folder. So please copy this from the blog. Okay, to avoid mistakes, copy it from the blog. All right, copy it from the blog. So I'm going to cd to that folder now, and I'm going to type ls, which means list, to be sure that the file was copied to that folder. And as you can see, there it is, xfce.tar.gz. So you're going to be using the tar-xvf command to extract the folder in that file. So tar-xvf, and after extracting it, I want to remove the file itself. So that is the purpose of this command here, tar-xvf, then rm. And as you can see, the Xfce file has been extracted, and the compressed.tar.gz file has been deleted. So we are done with that part. Now the next thing we're going to do is of course, I want to make these desktop icons here, the icons in my desktop, I want them to disappear. So to do that, you're going to go back to your desktop setting by right clicking and clicking on desktop setting in your desktop interface. Then I'm going to change the icon type to none. I don't want any icon to be showing on the screen at all. So as you can see, there is no icon on the screen anymore. So now we can launch Plank. Okay, Plank -- preferences. Use the command Plank -- preferences to launch Plank. Okay, Plank -- preferences. And as you can see, we're just going to wait a little bit now for Plank to launch. And as you can see, Plank has been launched. So this Plank is what we're going to be using as our second panel. Okay, our second panel is going to be Plank. So I want to put on icon zoom now, so that every time it makes the icons cooler. Okay, so the alignment, I'm going to paste this in I want the alignment to be in the middle. Okay, but if you want it to be filled, you can use fill. As you can see, the alignment has increased, but I want the alignment to be in the center, and I'm going to change the position to left. So I want it to be in the left position. All right. And if you want the alignment to be filled, as you can see, you can just type fill, and filled, it will be filled. But I want my alignment to be in the center. So depending on what you want, you can make it filled or make it in the center. And you're going to change the theme to Xfce. You remember we just extracted Xfce to our Plank folder, so you're just going to change the theme to Xfce. And as you can see, it looks cool, doesn't it? So yeah, now that has been done, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be installing and cloning in some other files, and we're going to be adding files to this panel. So as you can see, let us go back to my panel now, panel preferences. click on items, and I want to add a new item to my panel, which is the app menu plugin. Add. So I'm going to add app menu plugin to my panel now, and I'm going to shift it. So you're going to shift it from the last position. You're going to make it second after the application menu. So there it is, after the application menu. After the application menu, we have the panel menu right there. So application, yeah. So that has been done. So the next thing we're going to do now, as you can see, the app menu plugin is going to be displaying, the terminals or the current application we're working on the screen. Okay, we are currently in the desktop application. That is why it is showing desktop, and now that we're in the session and startup session, it is showing session and startup. Now what we want to do in this session and startup session is we want to put plank in the default applications that launches immediately after we start our application. So you're going to name the application, of course, which is plank, and then the command to launch plank is plank, also PLANK. And when do we want this plank to trigger? You're going to leave it on login. So we want plank to display immediately with login. Okay, so now that has been saved, you can now close your as you can see right there, plank. You can now close your terminal. You can now close the window rather. So let me quickly log out now. Let me stop this session and try logging in again to be sure that plank has been installed as a default application that starts on login. Okay, so start server. I'm going to head back to Ubuntu now. Head back, and I'm going to wait for this to load. And as you can see right there, so plank loaded by default. So now I'm going to be adding some application to the plank menu. Okay, so I'm going to keep my terminal in dock, and I'm going to add gedit. Okay, click gedit is there by default. So I'm going to add this dconf editor. I'm going to put that in the plank panel also. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clone in Rofi. We're going to be using Rofi to create a launcher, just like I told you in the beginning. Remember, we created we download a package called Rofi. So we're going to be using Rofi to create a launcher. Now to clone in Rofi from GitHub, we're going to be using the command git clone https://github.com/ADI1090x/Rofi. Okay, I'm going to be pasting this in the article also. If you can't remember this, just go to the article, copy it from there, and paste on your terminal. Okay, so there it is. As you can see, Rofi has been cloned. So to install Rofi now to our operating system, you're going to type the command cd rofi. If I type ls, as you can see, there is a file right there named setup.sh. To install that file, just type the command ./setup.sh. And as you can see, Rofi has been successfully installed. So I'm going to clear this place now. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up Rofi. Okay, now to do that, I'm going to be navigating to the config directory, cd.config. Then you want to go to Rofi. Okay, now in the Rofi home folder, you're going to see a package named config.rasi there. So you're going to remove that package with the command rmconfig.rasi. all right, now after removing that package, you're going to cd into the launchers directory. You're going to navigate to the launchers directory, and in the launchers directory, you're going to meet different types of launcher settings there. You're going to see them there, type 1, type 2, type 3. But as for me, I'm using the type 3 launcher, so I'm going to cd to type 3 now. Cd type 3. And if you type ls, you're going to see different types of styles there. As you can see, there's style 1 RASI, style 2 RASI, style 1 to style 12, I think. So I'm going to edit the launcher.sh file. there, which is actually the launcher file. Okay, so you're going to edit that with the command gedit.launcher.sh, gedit.launcher.sh. And what I want to change is the theme style here, the theme. I want to use the style 1 theme, not the style 10 theme. So I'm just going to change that from style 10 now. I'm going to change it to style 1. And as you can see, the theme is now style 1. So I'm just going to save. Click on save, and it has been saved. So you're just going to exit. Now the next thing I'm going to be editing now is that style 1 file. Okay, remember I'm using the style 1 settings. I change it to the style 1 settings, so I'm going to edit the style 1.raci file also. I want to make it beautiful. Okay, so to do that, you can use the gedit command also, gedit style 1.raci, style 1.raci, and I'm going to wait for this to open now. Okay, it has opened. And for the sake of this white panel showing here, I don't think the white panel is actually very cool, because you might not be able to see the things I'm doing. So let me close this and use the nano command. Okay, clear. Let me clear this place. I'm going to use the nano command, nano style 1.raci. Yeah, this one is actually pretty much clearer than that one. So in the main window, you're going to be changing the full screen. As you can see here, it says full screen is equal to false. Now we're going to be changing this to true. We want the launcher to be in full screen. I don't actually know if I want the launcher to be in full screen, but for now, let me just leave it in full screen. Okay, and the background color, I want the background color to be black, and I want the black to be a little bit deep, so I'm going to leave it at 80%. So you're going to leave it at black /80%. Then you're going to scroll down to the input bar section, input bar right there, and in the margin says 0 pixels, but please, I want you to change it from that 0 pixels to 0%. Okay, instead of using pixel, you're going to change it to percent. Let's see, you're going to change it to percent. Okay, to percent. Now you're going to name it 0%, 25%. All right, so we want the margin to be 0%, 25%. Okay, now we're going to scroll down. We're going to locate I think list view. Yeah, in the list view, what we're going to be changing there is the scroll bar option. As you can see, scroll bar says false. We need a scroll bar, so we're going to change it from false to true. Yeah, I think that is all I'm going to edit here for now. I'm just going to save this now, and I'm going to exit. So now the next thing we're going to do is this launcher.sh file. We're going to print the working directory and see the working directory that it is in. Okay, now that we've seen that working directory, the next thing we're going to do is I want to download another file. Okay, I want to download another file from my browser. This file is the expo.menu file, xpple.menu file. This file makes it easier for us, to edit that launcher, to edit the Rofi launcher that we just created and edited. So to do that, you're going to go to plink.com/p/1529470. But I'm going to be pasting this in the description below, or in the blog. So just go there and click on the link. It is going to take you directly here, and you can you can download your file directly. Okay, so for me, I'm going to download this now. Click on download. As you can see, the expo.menu file, it is a 0.03 MB file, not quite big, is it? So it has been downloaded, and as you can see, if I come to downloads now, as you can see right there, it says expo.menu.zip. Okay, expo-menu.zip. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our storage folder and the download folder in the storage directory, and we want to locate the expo.menu file. As you can see, expo-menu.zip. So I'm going to copy this file to my home directory now, just like we did with the Azeni file earlier, remember? So let me clear this I'm going to cp export menu.zip. Then where do I want to copy it? I want to copy it to my home directory. Okay, so to do that, you're going to be using the command cp export menu.zip, and I want to copy a launcher icon. I'm going to be putting the launcher icon in my blog also, so please make sure you download the launcher icon from there, because the launcher icon is extremely hard to find, on the internet. So I had to create a launcher icon by myself. I manually created it. I'm going to be pasting this best in tech launcher.png file. It is going to be in the article, so make sure you download it from there. It is a launcher, okay, a launcher picture. You're going to be seeing it there, and I'm going to be showing you the picture later in this video. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to extract this expo menu.zip file. I'm going to extract this. Now to do that, you're going to be using the unzip command, because it is a zip file. So unzip expo menu.zip. Okay, unzip, and it has been unzipped. Now if I type ls again, you're going to notice that there is two new files, which is the expo menu file and the applications folder. Okay, expo menu, if you notice, it was not here in the upper part, but it is now in the lower part. So let me type ls again so that you can see we have the expo menu file and the application file. So I'm going to be moving these two files to two different directories. Okay, so first we're going to be moving the application file. So I'm going to move this application file now by using the command mv applications. And where do I want to move it to? I want to move it to the local/share folder. Okay, .local/share, as you can see. So then the expo menu folder, I'm going to be creating a new directory. So to create that new directory, you're going to be using the command make dir-p. That I want to put that directory in the local/share, then /menu folder, /menu. Okay, so you're going to be making a new directory called menu in the local/share folder. And now we're going to move this expo.menu file. We're going to move it to that folder. Okay, so I'm just going to cp, which means I'm going to use the mv command, which means move. So I'm going to move expo.menu. I'm going to move it to the directory .local/share/menu. All right, and I'm going to click on enter now. Going to click on enter. I hope you understand this. This command takes this expo.menu file to the menu folder in the local/share directory. Okay, now that has been moved, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my directory to the application folder here. So remember I moved the application folder into the .local/share directory earlier. So I'm going to cd into that application folder, and I'm going to make some changes to a particular file in that folder. So let me type ls, and as you can see, there's a lot of files there, but the file I really need to edit is this launchpad.desktop file. Yeah, that one right there. That is the file I want to make a change to. So I'm going to edit that file now by using the nano command, nano launchpad.desktop, and the change I want to really make is not that much. So as you can see, the execution.sh command there, the execution says .config/rufi/launchers. So I'm going to change that misc to type 3. Okay, type 3, as you can see right there. So that is the only thing you're going to change. And this icon right here, this icon folder right here, the icon directory, just delete that one. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to exit now. I already made the change I want to make. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch my file manager. Okay, so to do this edit, you're going to be using the Lunar file manager. Where is it? So let me look for here, Lunar file manager. So you're going to open the Lunar file manager, and you're going to locate this .local/share/applications directory in the Lunar file manager. So root /.local, you're going to type that .local, Then you're going to go to share/application, and as you can see right there, we have the launchpad.desktop file. So you're going to edit launcher. You're going to right click and click on edit launcher. Okay, so you're going to edit this, and you're going to be in the icon folder right there. As you can see, make change to nothing except the icon folder. As you can see, it says there is no icon, so you're going to change that. You're going to click on that no icon. You're going to click on it, and a new window should pop up. Okay, a new window should pop up, and in this window you're going to go to select icon from. You're going to go to image files. Okay, now you're going to go to your home directory. Now remember, I copied this best in tech icon, this icon right here that I told you I made by myself, this icon. So you're going to be using that icon as your launcher icon. Okay, so you're going to move this now from here to the panel the same way I'm doing it. Okay, and as you can see, we now have a new launcher in our panel. So this is our Ubuntu launcher, and I'm going to open the launcher, and I'm going to click on the launcher and open it and see what it looks like. So open, and as you can see, this is the launcher right here. So it makes sense, just that it covers the whole screen, and I don't think I'm that cool with that. It covers the whole screen, and it is a little bit too dark. The image at the back will not be that, will not be that clear. So I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to make a change to that launcher file. I'm going to make it I'm going to remove it from full screen. Okay, and I'm going to make the background a little bit more transparent. All right, so to do that, go back to cd.config/rofi/launcher, and remember the folder is in the type 3 folder. So we're now in the type 3 folder, and I'm going to edit this style 1 RASI. Remember, style 1 RASI is the theme we are using, so I'm going to edit that nano style 1 RASI, and you're going to locate the window icon, and I'm going to change it from this true screen now, full screen. I'm going to change it from true to false. Remember, it was false, I changed it to true, but I'm changing it back to false now. Now after changing it to false, in the width, you're going to change the width to 1400 pixels. Okay, 1400 pixels, and you're going to create a space. Then you're going to create a new option, and you're going to make it height. You're going to name it height. Okay, now we're going to give this height 750 pixels. Okay, so height, as you can see, please write it the same way I'm writing it. Then you're going to make it 750 or 650 pixels. Okay, 650 is okay. 650 is okay. So 650 pixels. And the background color, we're going to change it from black 80% to maybe 10%. 10% is fair. All right, so we're going to change this file now. We're going to save, and if I open the launcher again, let me see. Let's open the launcher again and see what it looks like now. Yeah, better. I prefer this. This is, this is not covering the whole screen like the other one. So yeah, I prefer the launcher this way. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install some browsers now. But before then, let us go through the launcher and see what it looks like. So as you can see, all the application on this operating system is displaying in the launcher. Okay, which is exactly what we wanted. As you can see, all the application, file managers, everything is displaying in the launcher. Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes perfect sense. So I'm going to close this now, and of course, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install a browser. Okay, so I'm going to clear, and to install a browser. So all of these commands, I'm going to paste them in the description, because these commands are too long to explain. Okay, the video is 54, is almost 1 hour long already. I don't want to make the video too long. So a folder like this is going to pop up. You're going to type Ctrl W on your keyboard, Ctrl plus W. Okay, so you're going to type Ctrl plus W, and then you're going to search for exec, EXEQ, which means execute. Exec, you're going to search for that, and as you can see, the exec right here. So you're going to shift to the front a little bit, then you're going to type dash no sandbox. You're going to create a space and type dash no sandbox. Okay, now we are making this edit to the Chromium browser. Now you're going to save this file. Okay, and that is it. The browser has been installed. So I'm going to be pasting all of these commands in the description, also in the blog. So just go there and copy them from there to avoid unnecessary mistakes. All right, so I'm going to move the Firefox browser and the Chromium browser. Now I'm going to move them both to the panel. So you can use any of this that you like. You can use any of the browser that you prefer. Okay, so let me move Chromium also to the panel. Yeah, beautiful. So the launcher. So now you can use these browsers if you want to download anything, instead of having to go to the Chrome browser on your Android phone or your default browser on your Android phone. You can just easily use the browsers here on the Ubuntu, right? So I'm just going to add a little bit more files, and the next thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to install NewFetch. NewFetch lets you display the device information of your operating system. So to install NewFetch, you're going to use the command apt install NewFetch, and NewFetch is going to be installed after typing that command. Click on yes to install, and I'm installing. Okay, so NewFetch has been installed. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be testing our browsers. Okay, so I'm going to test the Firefox browser now. I'm going to launch the browser. And of course launch the browser, and I want to go to youtube.com/c/bezintech, which is my channel, to just confirm that this that Firefox is working. youtube.com/channel/bezintech okay, so I'm just going to click on this and wait for it to load. And please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. It took me about a week to make this video, man. It took me a week and a lot of time and efforts to make this video. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on bell notifications to be notified when I upload a new video. I've not been uploading videos lately because I've been making research, and I promise you that I have fantabulous videos on the way. Just relax and sit back, and as you can see, the browser is working, so you have no problem at all with the browser. All right, so as you can see, I'm getting a notification here that I won't be able to play audio folders. I won't be able to play the video because it is not going to have an audio in the back. So please, I already made a video before on how to install pause audio on your operating system. So that is it. As you can see, the browser is working. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install VLC. Okay, I'm going to show you how to install VLC. Now to install VLC, you're going to be using the command apt install VLC. Of course, most of you already know VLC is a video player. Okay, so you're going to be installing VLC with the apt install VLC command, and after VLC has been installed, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the libdvd package and some other packages. All right, now the libdvd package is the package that it is going to help VLC play play a video file. VLC is going to be playing audio files, but it is not going to be able to play a video file. But with the libdvd package installed, VLD is going to be able to display video for you on your Ubuntu system. Okay, now after that, the next thing we're going to do is okay, let me finish installing VLC first. Please, it is important that you know that you cannot use VLC on a root folder. So make sure you create a user account and launch your VLC with it. Okay. Okay, so now that VLC has been installed, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the VLC to the home, to the panel, to the Planck panel. So this is it, man. This is it. This is how how you installed a professional Ubuntu on your Android phone. As you can see, Ubuntu is ready to go. So you can install a code editor and start coding. Of course, I have made videos before on how to install code editors on your Android phone. Just watch them and start installing these code editors. And as you can see with the new fetch command, I'm able to see the device information of my operating system, and as you can see, there it is. So yeah, that is it about this video, man. Thank you for watching. If you watch and still to this moment, man, thank you so much for watching. And the next thing we're going to do now is, please always remember, this is very, very important, that after working with your terminal, after working on your operating system, it is important to always kill the connection with the vnc server -kill command. Please, it is important, very important, that you always kill the connection. So to kill your vnc connection, vnc server -kill -1, that is going to kill the connection. And as you can see, the VNC connection has been killed. So if you want to connect to VNC again, you can always use the connect VNC command and use start server on Ubuntu. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to reply you as soon as I can. And yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. And please comment below if you need me to make any video. I'm going to make research on the topic and I'm going to come up with a video. Thank you.